see. Things to do, people to meet. We've got the whole world at our feet. At Tikkabilla, it's a wonderful place to be.
Hello!
Hello, and welcome to Tikkabilla. Now, I've been collecting some boxes, big boxes and small boxes, because we're sorting out Tamba's toys and we need to tidy them away. Tamba, I've got the boxes.
Oh, thanks, Simon. Hello. Look at all these. I've got big toys and little toys, and they're all jumbled up. Will you help me to sort them out?
Right, here we are. Now then, big box and small box. Now, which toys go in which box? Let's have a look. We've got a teapot here. Where do you think that should go? Big box or small box?
Big toy, isn't it?
Yes.
I think it might go in a big box.
Think it'll fit? Do you think it'll fit? Let's have a look. Oh, yes, you're right. That goes in the big box. Oh, there's another big toy here as well. It's your beach ball.
Oh, well, it won't go in the small box, will it?
Don't think so.
Better try the big box.
Let's try it, and we'll squeeze it in and push it in there. Oh, yes, that fits as well. Oh, look, there's some toy animals here. Which box do you think they should go in, big or small?
They're very small. Shall we put them in the small box?
I think they'll fit in the small box, and they'll be nice and cosy together there as well, won't they?
Yeah.
Put them in there, and... Oh, there's a big, fluffy dog. Which box do you think this should go into?
Will he fit in the small box?
We could try. Let's try and... Oh! I don't think he's going to fit in the small box. Let's try and squeeze him into the big box. There he goes. There.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, and look, there's a car. And there's your toy helicopter, Tamba.
Oh, yeah. Where should they go? I think the small box.
Do you think the small box as well? Let's try and put them in there. Yes, small toys in the small box. There we are. That's all the toys sorted.
But, Simon, what about these toys? They're too big for the small box and they're too small for the big box. They're in the middle.
You're right, Tamba.
Will this box do, Tamba? It's a middle-sized box.
Lovely.
Oh, let's see.
Well, let's see if middle-sized Ted, do you fit in there? Yes, I do. Good. In he goes. And we can put this toy will fit in that way.
What about this is your shower cap, Tamba?
Will that fit in too? Yes, there we go. We've got the big toys in the big box. We've got the middle-sized toys in the middle box. And we've got the small toys in the small box.
Great. And I should go in the small box too, because I'm the littlest.
Oh, well, you're the littlest now, Tamba. But if I were this size, you'd seem huge to me.
And although I am taller than both of you, next to the Tikkabilla house, I feel quite small.
Being big or small depends on what you're looking at. Which do you think is smaller? An elephant or a mouse?
A mouse.
And which do you think is taller? A bungalow or a house?
A house.
And which out of these two is wider? A fat bumblebee or a flea?
It's a bee.
And who do you think is bigger, you or me?
It's you, not me.
Let me explain. If I were to meet a giraffe, well, I'm sure I'd feel so tiny. But when I look hippopotamus can make me look skinny, and that stick insect makes me look fat. Oh, well, our size depends on what we're looking at.
We're looking at. Well, sometimes I feel big,
And sometimes I feel small.
sometimes I feel short.
And then at other times I'm tall.
When I look around at my natural habitat, I can see that my size depends on what I'm looking at. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Which do you think is smaller? You or the moon in the sky? And which do you think is taller? You are a sweet butterfly. And which out of these three is bigger? Me or you or a cat? Oh, well, our size depends on what we're looking at.
We're looking at. Well, sometimes I feel big,
And sometimes I feel small.
sometimes I feel short.
Then at other times I'm tall.
When I look around at my natural habitat, I can see that my size depends on what I'm looking at. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So you see, Tamba, no matter how tiny you feel, there's always something smaller than you.
Now, there are some very small people in our story today. Should we have a look at the clock? Come on, then. Tikkabilla, Tokkabilla, Tikkabilla, Tock. What's the time on the Tikkabilla clock? Well, the long hand is pointing towards the number 12. Do you know what that means? That means it's something o'clock. And the short hand is pointing up to the 12 as well. So the clock says it's 12 o'clock. And in our story, strange things happen at 12 o'clock in the night. Oh, what's underneath the clock? 2 small jackets and 2 small pairs of boots. And today's story is called The Elves and the Shoemaker. Once upon a time, there was a shoemaker.
That's me. I'm the shoemaker and I make shoes.
The shoemaker worked very hard all day long.
Ah, la 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 la.
He worked much harder than that, Tamba.
Oh, sorry.
No matter how many pairs of shoes the shoemaker made, he couldn't earn enough money to make a living.
Finally, the day came when all he had left in his workshop was one small piece of leather.
Oh, I know. I'll set this leather out tonight and make it into a pair of shoes in the morning.
And with that, the shoemaker went to bed without any supper. And even though he was poor and hungry, the kind shoemaker always remained cheerful.
Ah, well, look on the bright side. There are people much worse off than me. And who knows, things might look better in the morning.
When the shoemaker woke up, to his astonishment, on the work table stood a fine pair of shoes, already made and sewn.
What a fine pair of shoes! But who could have made them?
At that moment, a very fine gentleman entered the workshop. Oh, what a splendiferous pair of shoes! I simply must have them. I'll pay you twice as much as they're worth. Okay.
Oh, wowee! I've got enough money here to get some dinner and to buy 2 pieces of leather. Ha ha!
So that night, the shoemaker put out 2 pieces of leather. And when he woke up in the morning...
Wowee! There's 2 pairs of lovely shoes.
Just then, a beautiful princess happened by. Oh, excuse me, little purple shoemaker. I was wondering if these shoes were for sale. They're brilliant, aren't they? I'll give you loads of money for them.
Oh, thanks. Oh, wowee! Now I've got enough money for dinner, pudding, and some left over for 4 pieces of leather. Ha ha!
Every night, the shoemaker left out some pieces of leather, and every morning there were lots of pairs of lovely shoes.
The shoemaker became very well known and very wealthy. Then, one cold night...
Guess what? Tonight, I'm going to keep awake and hide so I can find out who keeps making these shoes for me.
And with that, the shoemaker left out some leather and then hid in the shadows. Then, at 12 o'clock in the night, 2 tiny elves crept into the workshop. Through the cold, through the night, let us work till early light.
They took the pieces of leather and started to work.
Sew and stitch, keep awake, until a pair of shoes we make.
The shoemaker watched them hour after hour as they worked, right through the night, until he fell asleep. When the shoemaker woke up, there were 4 pairs of beautiful shoes.
Ah, so those tiny elves are the ones making the shoes for me. Wowee! But didn't they look cold in their little vests and pants? If only there was something I could do to help. I know! Ha!
And with that, the shoemaker set to work. He made 2 tiny jackets and 2 tiny pairs of boots that were snug and warm. And that night, he left the coats and the boots on the worktop and hid in the shadows to watch.
And sure enough, at exactly 12 o'clock in the night, the 2 little elves crept in once more. When they saw the jackets and boots, they jumped for joy.
And with their warm coats on and their snug boots, the tiny elves danced out of the workshop and were never seen again.
Ah, did you see that? Wowee!
And from that day on, the shoemaker was happy and contented and made the finest shoes in all the land.
But however wealthy the shoemaker became, he never forgot the 2 tiny elves.
Bye-bye, kind and clever elves.
The end! Well done, Tamba.
Hey,
Very
you were
good.
great shoemaker, Tamba. The elves aren't the only ones who are good at making things. I wonder what Bonny, Banana and Mo are up to.
Bonny, Banana and Mo. Bonny, Banana and Mo. Bonny, Banana and Mo.
There was a lot of traffic in Bonny, Banana and Mo, wasn't there? What would you drive if you could? Sports car? Or a motorbike? Would you like to drive a tractor? Because I'd love to drive a tractor, one with great big knobbly wheels on the back. I know. Let's pretend to drive a tractor right now. Come on, sit up in your tractor seat and turn the engine on. You can make a good tractor sound with your mouth. Take the handbrake off, grab hold of the steering wheel, put the pedal down, and we're off. Oh, it's a bit bumpy, isn't it? Let's go to the top of the hill. Are you doing it? Right, we're there. It's lovely here, isn't it? There's lots of sheep, hello, lots of cows, and a lovely view. What else would you like to drive? How about a fire engine? Come on, we'll drive a fire engine. First of all, the alarm bell goes off. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. Put on the fireman's helmet and the boots and get into the cab for a drive. Now, fire engines don't go na-na-na-na-na-na anymore, do they? They go sort of wee-wee-wee-wee-wee. They do, so that everyone knows that they're coming. Come on, here we go. Wee, 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 wee. Are you joining in? Is there any emergency here?
Oh, no, thank you, Simon.
Well, carry on.
That fire engine made a great sound. Now, I thought we'd make something else with a great sound. See if you can guess what it is. Now, we're going to do a picture. And to make our picture, I've got lots and lots of different shapes. Here, I've got a rectangle shape. Now, a rectangle has 2 long sides and 2 short sides. I've also got a square. There we go. And a square has 4 sides, all the same length. What other shapes can you see? Of course. We've got some circles. Now, these are really shiny circles. Look at that. Beautiful circle. And I've got a triangle. Now, a triangle has 3 sides. There we go. And there's our triangle. Now, see if you can guess what I'm making a picture of. Now, the first thing we're going to use is our rectangle shape. Now, over here, I've got a sponge with water on it. And if I put that right there in the middle of our paper, right, now we need our small rectangle. There we go. And if I dip that into our water and put that on the top of our big rectangle. Right, so we've used 2 rectangles so far. How about some triangles? We've got 2 triangles here. And if I dip those into our water, and one goes on that side, like that. Oh, a bit straighter than that. There we go. And one goes on this side. There we go. Right, now, Let's see. Oh, you know what? I think we need some more rectangles. And I've got 2 light blue rectangles here. And if I put those onto our water, and 1 rectangle goes here, and 1 rectangle goes there. There we go. And I've got over here a small rectangle, a little silver one. And I'm going to put that on the top of our picture. Like that. Hey, it looks a little bit like the Tikkabilla house. But not for long. We've got some more shapes to put on. We've got 2 squares that we can use. Now, if I put them on our sponge. Now, all my paper that I'm using has got sticky glue on the back. So it helps me to stick them down really easily when I put them in the water. Okay, and there's our square. There we go. There's our square. Now, what do you think that could be? Well, maybe if we put our circles on, it might help. We've got 2 big silvery circles there. Let's dip those in our water. There we go. There's 1 there, and 1 there. Now we've got our 2 small circles, 1 red and 1 yellow. Dip those into our water, 1 at the back and 1 at the front. Now, have you guessed what this noisy vehicle is yet? Well, maybe these small strips might help, our little rectangle strips. If I collect those, and if I start putting a little bit of water on each of them. Now, what do you think would have a shiny light on the top like this? A last little strip. That's right. It's a police car. Made of lots of different shapes.
Aha! Yes, Tamba, there's some more over here.
Some more what?
Some more shapes, of course. Do you know there are shapes everywhere, Lorna?
You're right, Tamba, there are.
Look high and low for shapes that we know. Triangles and circles and squares. Look up and down, look all around. There's shapes that we know everywhere. Shape up, we're going on a shape hunt. Shape up and follow me. Shape up, we're going on a shape hunt. Shape up, what can I see? Look at its sides and count them with me. How many sides do you think there will be? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There's a triangle here and a triangle there. 3-sided triangles are everywhere. Shape up, we're going on a shape hunt. Shape up and follow me. Shape up, we're going on a shape hunt. Shape up, what can I see? Look at its sides and just like before, count all the sides just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a square right here, there's a square over there. 4-sided squares are everywhere.
Shape up, we're going on a shape hunt. Shape up and follow me. Shape up, we're going on a shape hunt. Shape up, what can I see? Aha! Look at its sides and look what I found. There's only one side and that goes right round, round and round, round and round. There's a circle right here and a circle over there. One-sided circles are everywhere.
Shape up, we're going on a shape hunt. Shape up and look around. Shape up and go on a shape hunt to see what shapes, what different shapes, what shapely shapes can be found.
Why don't you have a look at all the different shapes around you?
Or you could pretend to drive your own fire engine.
Come and see us again soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Tikkabilla, Tikkabilla, fun for you and me. Tikkabilla, Tikkabilla, watch and you will see. Tikkabilla, Tikkabilla, it's a wonderful place to be.